Everyone knows Dream, right? Popular Minecraft YouTuber, streamer, Republican. Well, I'm pretty sure you don't know who the real Dream is, as I have proof that he cheated and then got away with it. It is absolutely disgusting, and he deserves to be canceled over it. A couple years ago, I'd say around 2014, I met a man named Dream Johnson. He is approximately 4 feet 10 inches tall due to a rare genetic condition he has called Fairbanks disease, which affected his bone growth. And me, being 2 foot 3 at the time, understood what he was going through. We fell in love and got married in 2017, but at the wedding, he introduced me to his friend, George Not Found? And now, a brief intermission. Among Us is an online multiplayer science fiction / social deduction murder mystery game created by Innersoft that runs on the Unity game engine. It was released on June 15th, 2018 on iOS, Android, and was later released on Steam on August 18th, 2018. On December 15th, 2020, a Nintendo Switch edition was released, which is available on the console's Nintendo eShop. The game is soon coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series X/X, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5 sometime during 2021. George was cool, we had a few beers, sex, and a chats about the new indie game coming up called Among Us, but while me and George were discussing and sussing, Dream was up to something else. I walk into mine and Dream's hotel room only to see that only a few hours after he got married, him getting plowed by Keemstar. The bad thing is that the night before we had played Wii Sports, and because he didn't use the Weirmo jacket, I ended up becoming pregnant, so Dream took a road trip. Ever since then, I've spiraled further and further into depression as he, the man I once loved, got more and more people to ride his dick. I don't need anybody to believe my story, I just want to put it out there to share my experiences. Anyways, here's a conversation I had with him recently for you to believe my story. I started this off because I needed child support from Dream, because he owes me approximately $30,000 in child support. So I started off by saying, I need child support and you need to see your son. Neither one of us has seen your face for a while. And Dream responds with, pretty childishly, sorry whore, but that baby isn't mine. But just look at the baby. It looks just like him. Which then led to me saying, he looks just like you, you piece of shit. He then says in response, whoa, calm down, and then the N-word. I then reply with, I will not calm down. You have ruined my life since our wedding day. You cheated on me. This Grinch-looking motherfucker then tries to excuse it by saying, I didn't know that Keemstar was plowing me, and although I spread to my fans that you and those that I said did cheat, even though you're completely in the right, were lying, so I could manipulate my extremely loyal fan base into attacking you so nobody finds out I did cheat. And yes, this action may have led to you being harassed and hated by thousands, possibly even millions of people. But I'm sorry. Your fans sent me death threats, even after the divorce court ruled in my favor. Well, although I told my hate-driven fan base that you're trying to screw me over for something I didn't do, I told them that death threats are bad, and you know how well children are at listening to adults. But I've never seen you ever express the controversial sentiment that death threats are bad. So it seems to me that you actually support death threats, which means you probably deserve the death threats in the first place, because you support death threats. Isn't this victim blaming? Cope. You need to pay child support. The court literally ruled in my favor, I say, trying to get the conversation back on topic. He then says, my appeal to get a divorce and take half of your possessions was just rejected after research due to the marriage contract being too unlikely to verify. A decision was made by a head judge and YouTuber Geosquare using my name and clickbaiting cheating on his wife in order to get easy views. Definitely respond soon. Total BS. Currently have multiple judges messaging me that they believe the verdict was biased and that they might quit the judge team. What kind of investigation was this? I then respond pretty bluntly by saying, I showed them the photo I took of Keemstar plowing you. When he came, he shouted, Drama Alert Nation, now at 1 million sperm cells. He then says, so what if I did cheat? It's just a cock game. Plus, my fans still believe me over you. I then reply with, why would your fans believe you over me? Especially when I have court orders, video and photograph proof, a DNA test that connects you to our son, multiple people verifying my story, others in the marriage community that have had years of experience agreeing with me, and even judges taking months of unpaid overtime working towards finding out the truth. People who are just as passionate as you are about marriage with no reason to lie or be biased. Even though you may feel like you're being attacked, you have to, at the very least, acknowledge and respect the fact that others that don't have as much of a fortunate life as you have are just as passionate about a thing you love as you are. You aren't being attacked, you are simply making yourself seem elementary and pathetic by childishly mocking the hard work of others only based on you not liking what the verdict ended up being. If you didn't cheat, then you have every right to defend yourself, whilst respecting others that have put the time in to make the community a better place. But if you did cheat, then why are you fighting it? Why are you using your fans as a shield to keep an echo chamber around you when you wouldn't get nearly as much hate as you do now if you were open to the criticism and opinions of others? And why would you use and manipulate those that you say you love as a way to block out and/or attack those that use criticism against you when they have done nothing wrong and are simply doing their jobs and getting way too much shit for it? You claim to apologize and be sorry for your actions, yet you've tried to make it come off as you being the victim, not once seeming to make a public apology on anything that isn't fucking Pastebin. And this is a tangent here, but I swear to fucking God, there are more women with dicks than there are people who know about Pastebin. Something that isn't even up anymore. If you were genuinely sorry, you would have made a video on your main YouTube channel as that is your biggest audience to reach people, and you wouldn't have tried to excuse it by saying something that can't even be trusted taking into account your track record. In the best case scenario, your careless recklessness and abuses of power led to people who did nothing wrong getting harassed. And in the worst case scenario, you are still lying to save face, while also presenting yourself as a brave hero for coming out with this information only after everyone stopped giving a shit. You know what would have been brave? Putting your ego aside and calling out your toxic fan base, making a very public apology, and coming out about this sooner to minimize any damage caused. You're not a bad person per se, but your mistakes in how you treat them, your lack of accountability, and your constant abuse of power says more about your character than you saying, "I denounce all hate" on Twitter. Jake Rhodes, go back to the circus.